What is up, everybody? Welcome to my channel. I'm Analytical Mystic, and I am about to do some readings for this week. We are going to figure out what is going on this week. So, what I'll be doing is I will be going through all the zodiac signs, Aries through Pisces, and I will be pulling some tarot cards. I will pull one card for the general energy of the week, and then I'll pull another card for the general love reading for the week. Please keep in mind the readings overall are general. They may not resonate with everybody. But if you would like to check out other readings, I'm sure there are many, many more. I know there are many more available to choose from. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into this, okay? Let's start off with Aries. I have my trusty Starman Tarot here. Let's see what is going on with Aries over the next week. What is going on with Aries over the next week? What kind of energy will Aries encounter? Okay. Aries, you have the Six of Pentacles. So you may be finding yourself in a situation where you are loaning out money or you are borrowing money from someone. In some instances, this is an equal exchange, but it's still the same because it's like somebody borrowed money, somebody got their money paid back. You know, there was not the whole the runaround thing. Now, this is not to say that some of you will encounter other people who do try to take advantage of you. In which case, hold firm to your boundaries and make sure that that does not happen. Now, let's get a card to see what is going on in your love life, Aries. What is going on in your love life over the next week? What kind of energy will Aries encounter in their love life over the next week? Aries, you have the Queen of Wands. So you're feeling really good about yourself. You're feeling very, very confident in yourself, and you think you know what's right. So you may be a little combative with your significant other, but it's not really anything new because you're just one of those people that is somewhat combative anyway. It's not necessarily, you don't necessarily mean it in a bad way all the time. There are times you definitely do mean it in a bad way, but not all the time. Sometimes you're just that way and you're not even trying to be. So you may come off a little harsh to people that you are seeing or somebody that you are dating. Right now, you are feeling extremely passionate about whomever you're with. I think that maybe you may be in a situation where you are kind of holding back from whomever you are seeing. There's just a certain aspect of who you are that you're not letting be known to them, because at this point you don't really see things lasting very long. You see it being temporary. I wouldn't say that's always the case, though. I would say also there are going to be people who have a very good period of time right now with their partner. You're both going to be equally attracted to each other, equally passionate about each other. It'll be a good week. All right, let's move on to Taurus. Let's see what's going on with Taurus. What kind of energy will Taurus encounter over the next week? What kind of energy will Taurus encounter over the next week? Okay, we have the Three of Wands. So you may be, communication may be very important to you right now, and you may actually be waiting to hear back from some people. You have a lot of ideas that you're eager to express, you're excited to be known. You may be wanting to travel, but you're having to wait on something for that to happen. So maybe some sort of agreement. Um, there's definitely a period of being standstill, a period of standstill right now while you kind of wait for things to pan out, which is frustrating. It's very, very frustrating because who wants to wait? But sometimes the wait is necessary because things happen there. Things happen there that you don't know you need to experience until you get out on the other side. And then you're like, oh, yeah, that was the purpose of it all. Let's see what's going on in Taurus's love life over the next week. Taurus, you have the Two of Wands. So, you're a little uncertain about how you feel about this situation. You feel multiple different ways. That's why you're uncertain. You're kind of confused, and you're trying to wait. You're holding off on making your decision because you know there's something that you're not seeing, and you don't want to make any serious choices because this is your love life. You know, it's not a game, so you don't want to be, at least right now, you know, it's not a game, and you just don't want to be quick to jump into something that is not anything. You don't want to waste time with something that's not going to go anywhere, basically. But you're still trying to figure out exactly what you want. Okay, moving on to Gemini. Let's see what is going on with Gemini this week in their general energy. What kind of energy will Gemini encounter over the next week? Gemini, you have the Queen of Swords. So you may encounter or be dealing with somebody who's kind of they're very detached. They're very intelligent, though. Very, very smart, very intelligent. Almost a know-it-all. You know, it can get annoying how right they are. Because you don't like, since they're a know-it-all, you want them to be wrong, but unfortunately, they're like that for a reason. So, you know, and that could be getting on your nerves. If it's not bothering you, it's bothering other people that you're acting like this. But I don't know if you really care, honestly. I think you're just doing you. You're just handling business. You're being yourself. You may be taking the time to study, taking time out to study, focus on learning new things, expanding your mind, your knowledge. Um, you're not really trying to get too distracted by your emotions right now. Right now, you are just very matter of fact. It's business time. It's business time, basically. Excuse me. All right, Gemini. Let's see what's going on in your love life over the next week. Gemini, let's see what is going on in your love life over the next week. What kind of energy will you encounter? The Six of Wands. So there may be a lot of flirtation going on. You may be flirting a lot. You may be getting a lot of attention from people, and it's nice. It's nice. If you and your significant other have been having a disagreement or whatnot, you're going to come to a mutual understanding. They're going to see things from your perspective, and that whole annoyingly right thing will happen. But any type of conflict that you are having in your romantic life will be overcome. You will be able to move beyond this. Be it a heartache or trouble in a relationship. I feel like there is going to be a boost of confidence from this experience emotionally. So that's very, very interesting because it's like you're in general, you're trying to detach and not be emotional at all. But deep down, you are feeling emotional. Maybe it's not necessarily emotion though. Maybe it's more so attraction. You're feeling attraction, you're receiving that. It feels nice. It's nice. Okay. Let's move on to Cancer. See what is going on with Cancer over the next week. What kind of energy will Cancer encounter over the next week? How will it affect them? Seven of Wands. All right, Cancer, you may be feeling like you're having to explain yourself a lot. You're having to explain yourself a lot. You're having to defend yourself, maybe arguing with a lot of people, a lot of misunderstandings going on. It's a very difficult time. Maybe some very heated debates occurring. Sorry, guys, I have to do something real quick. All right. It's just a very difficult time right now. You're really having to fight for what it is that you want. And there may be a lot of things that are trying very, very hard to work against to what you're trying to achieve. So it's like you're exhausted. You're exhausted because it's like it keeps you keep having to fight things off. It's like if it's not one thing, it's another. Let's see what's going on in your love life, Cancer. Let's see what's going on in Cancer's love life over the next week. We have the Five of Wands. So it kind of looks like this conflict is carrying on into your love life. You know, you may be in a situation where you're competing. You feel like you're competing for another person's attention. Like they have other people that they're seeing on top of you. And it's like, you know, you're having to fight for what you feel like is yours. And it's kind of upsetting, you know, because you feel like you shouldn't have to fight for this, but you do. You and your significant other may be having some disagreements, a lot of arguments going on. If not necessarily arguments, just disagreements, you know, like heated debates. And there's going to be a lot of explaining. That's not a bad thing, the whole explaining thing. If it's just a bunch of BS, then yeah. But if you are explaining your perspective to another person so they can understand you in the way that you're behaving and how you're speaking, and the other person is equally doing the same, that's magic right there. That's magic right there, or magic can happen. Let's just say that. Magic can happen when that occurs. So for some relationships, this is a rocky period and it is a test. It is a test. Where will you go from here? All right, let's move on to Leo. What is going on with Leo over the next week? What kind of energy will Leo encounter? What's going on with Leo? What's going on with Leo over the next week? All right, Leo, you have the Page of Pentacles. So you feel like you are entering into a new phase of growth in your life. There is something, it's at its very, very beginning stages. The very, very, very beginning stages. So beginning, it may be hard to even see that it's there. But it is there. And you see that it's there. So you are doing what you can to nurture this. So whatever opportunity or whatever this is, this new thing, this new idea that you're birthing in your life, it's really exciting right now, and you're doing what you can to nurture this idea so that you can bring it into reality instead of just thinking about it. You will definitely benefit from gaining higher knowledge, furthering your education on what it is that you're doing. Because you got this, you just got to develop it. You got to develop it. Like, you're the only one that can. It's on you. It's on you. The success of, or failure of this, it's on you. Let's see what's going on in your love life, Leo. What is going on in Leo's love life? Leo, you have the Six of Pentacles. So some of you may be in a situation where you are being breadcrumbed. What I mean is just getting that little bit of attention to keep you coming back around. Some of you may actually be the one doing the breadcrumbing. In which case, you're just focused. You're just more focused on other things. You're more focused on this, on growing and learning and developing this new in your life. Um, Now, I feel like some of you need to be careful that other people aren't taking advantage of you. I feel like in some situations, people may be taking more from you than you really can give. You're sacrificing for this person, and there really needs to be some balance that is brought to this situation. I feel like this is a very important point in this dynamic in relationship where you really figure out where you stand with each other. You really do figure it out. Okay. Let's move on. Virgo. What is up with Virgo? What kind of energy will Virgo encounter over the next week? What is going on with Virgo? What kind of energy will Virgo encounter? The Empress. New. This is a new phase in your life. This is a new start. This is all new. Okay, maybe it's not all new. Some things in your life, it's a very transformative period. So it may be a new phase, but the situation isn't new. It may have evolved. Some of you may be finding out that you or somebody else are pregnant. Or actually giving birth this week at some point. Unfortunately, there are some of you who are stuck and stagnant, and it's like you are having a hard time bringing resolution to what has been going on in your life, and it is hampering this new faith. It's holding you back. All right, let's see what's going on in your love life, Virgo. What is going on in Virgo's love life? Virgo, you have the World. So you're coming to a point of resolution with your partner. Something will resolve. Something is going to come to an end, but it's also going to be coming to a beginning. Just in general, you have to have death before you can have birth. But also in relationships, they go through phases. They're healthy, they go through phases. Well, even if they're unhealthy, they go through phases. It's just a matter of how you work through those phases and cope with them. No matter what the conclusion of this situation is, um, you know it's for the best. It's all part of the plan. Yeah, some of you may be ending the situation, you may be walking away from a relationship, entering into a new phase, being single, having a good time. And some relationships are also coming to a new beginning, deepening in their commitment, or having a better understanding of each other and what's going on. What your ideas are. Like, is this something, are we both into the same stuff? Like, is this something that's going to move forward, or is this something we got to leave behind? Now's the time. Because I don't think you want to waste any time. I think you have a now or never vibe. Alrighty then, Virgo. Let us move on to Libra. What is going on with Libra over the next week? What kind of energy will Libra encounter over the next week? How will it affect them? What is going on with Libra? Libra, you have the devil here. So you may be obsessing about some things. Like, you can't stop thinking about them. You wish you could, but you can't. It's driving you crazy. It may even be dragging you down. Some of you may be struggling with an addiction of some sort, or dealing with toxic behavior, either your own toxic behavior or another person's toxic behavior. Although you may feel chained to what is going on here with you, there is a way out. You can break these chains, and it doesn't necessarily have to be hard, but you don't see that. You don't see that right now. You don't see any hope. Feeling kind of pessimistic. Very, very passionate this week. Feeling very, very, very deeply about everything, which could not work out very well for people if you get angry. Hola, welcome. All right, let's see what is going on in Libra's love life. What is going on in Libra's love life over the next week? Okay, you have the Six of Pentacles, so I definitely feel like some of you are involved in a very toxic relationship, don't get along well, you don't argue in a healthy manner. I mean, just the way you communicate in general is not necessarily healthy. So, it's just, It's a situation where one person is taking advantage of another person and the way they feel, which is not good. Obviously, it's not healthy for the person being taken advantage of, and you know what? It's not good for the person doing the taking. Um, it tears away at your soul and it changes who you are slowly but surely until you become this person that isn't even who you are. So you need to be careful with that, Libra. Be careful who you mess with. Um, it can be very difficult to get out of these situations. Very, very difficult. So please do not think that I'm making light of this stuff. This is a very difficult situation. But you are the only one that can do anything about it. You're the only one that can change it. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. All right, we are moving on to Scorpio, right? Scorpio, conception, Libra. What is going on with Scorpio over the next week? What kind of energy will Scorpio encounter over the next week? How will it affect them? Okay, we have the Queen of Wands, Scorpio. So feeling very good about yourself, very determined, very confident, just in your power. In your power. Now, some of you may be dealing with someone who kind of behaves this way, but they go overboard. Like they're too controlling. They're too much in their power. Which I don't know if that's real possible to be too much in your power, in your own personal power and who you are. But I think one can go too far with. I think there is a point where confidence turns to arrogance, and it's a fine line that a lot of people don't recognize. So you may be dealing with somebody like that over the next week, and you know it might be hard to keep your mouth shut. And it's not even necessarily like that this person is a bad person. It's just you have a hard time keeping your mouth shut. You have a hard time being nice. And if it's not you that has a hard time being nice, they have a hard time being nice. They have no problem with having a hard time being nice. So that can be very difficult to work with. But I think as long as you just handle your business, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Let's see what's going on in your love life, Scorpio. Let's see what's up. What is going on in Scorpio's love life over the next week? What kind of energy will Scorpio encounter in their love life over the next week? Okay, you have the Star. So you may be feeling optimistic about your love life. Be you single or in a relationship, seeing somebody. If there has been any sort of conflict going on between who you are seeing, excuse me, in yourself, this is something that will be able to be resolved. You feel confident in yourself in this situation enough to be able to express yourself. enough to not keep your mouth shut. For the sake of the peace, sometimes it has to be said, no matter how uncomfortable it makes somebody. You can just, there's a fine line between confidence and arrogance. So make sure you are aware of that. Some of you may be healing from past heartache, and feeling, as a result, more optimistic about your love life and what may happen in the future. And it's through your healing that you are stepping into who you are and into your power. And it feels good. Feels really, really good. So enjoy it. Enjoy that feeling, Life is not permanent. Things that happen in life are not permanent. So when you feel this way, enjoy it. Bask in it. Swim in it. But don't stay in it. Don't get stuck there. I know it can be really hard sometimes. Okay, let's see what is going on with Sagittarius. What's going on with Sagittarius over the next week? What kind of energy will Sagittarius encounter over the next week? What is going on with Sagittarius? Sagittarius, we have the Six of Cups. So you may find yourself repeating things from the past, delving into your memories, becoming nostalgic. There's just something about back in the day that warms your heart, and you can't help but, think about it, dwell on it. There may be things from the past, from your childhood, that you're recognizing how they're connected to the now, and it's helping you to work through healing. So through reflection on the past and facing the past, you will find healing. Some of you may be very, very focused on your children and your family this week. Very, very important to you. And you may just, honestly, you may just really be thinking about the memories you have made with your family members. Because, time goes by fast. And when it comes to having children, childhood, it goes by so fast. So fast in the great scheme of things. And next thing you look up and your kid is 18. You're not a kid anymore. And it's like you blinked, Let's see what's going on in your love life, Sagittarius. King of Cups. Alright, Sagittarius, this week you will be feeling very loving, very caring, very emotional. Even if you don't have an object of your affection, you're just going to be feeling very sensitive and very emotional at this time. There may be some of you out there drinking your sorrows away because you're so emotional, and you may be having a little pity party. Thinking about shoulda, woulda, coulda. But it's really important to not focus on the pain and try to focus on the lesson. Um, right now, you may be feeling like it's very important for you to express how you feel to your significant other. And I agree, it is. It is. Especially if it's something that's bothering you that's happened in the past and you still haven't spoken about it, but it's still getting to you. It's something that has consistently caused problems. These things need to be talked about. But in order for you to even realize that's what's going on, you do have to delve into the past. And, some people are reluctant to do so because there's the whole living in your past, don't live in your past thing. But without a past, you can't have a future. Let's see what's going on with Capricorn over the next week. What kind of energy will Capricorn encounter over the next week? What's going on with Capricorn? What kind of energy will Capricorn encounter over the next week? Capricorn, you have the Hierophant. So you're really focused on your home, you're really focused on getting your shit together, you're really focused on the commitments you have in life. Structure, it's all very important to you right now, and it's all high priority. High priority. I mean, that's pretty direct. Let's see what's going on in Capricorn's love life. What's going on in Capricorn's love life? We have the Page of Swords. So you may be feeling distant from your significant other. Y'all aren't really talking a whole lot. Same if you're seeing somebody or just getting to know somebody. There's a distance there. It's like you're still learning about each other, so you're kind of reluctant to open up a lot. So you're kind of sitting back and watching. But you're both sitting back and watching, so that may prevent things from moving forward. At some point, a conversation will need to be had. And, just be honest. Just be honest. Even if you're sitting there telling them, you know what, I was unsure and I needed time to figure it out. Just being honest. Just being honest. And that is better than the other person thinking the whole time you were seeing multiple people when really you were just focusing on yourself, focusing on your home life and getting your shit together and studying and, just, I don't know, I feel like there's some sort of, I want to say oratoring, but I don't think that's. But basically, somebody who gives a lot of speeches. I feel like there's somebody who gives a lot of speeches on how to build structure and whatnot in their life in various ways. But when it comes to the romance aspect, you're not as well versed. You're still trying to figure that out. And that's okay. That's okay. It's okay to not know everything. Just be honest with yourself about it and others. All right, let's move on to Aquarius. What is going on with Aquarius? Oh my goodness, again, I forgot to use my banners. Oh well. Okay, what's going on with Aquarius? What is going on in Aquarius's world over the next week? Excuse me. Aquarius, you have the Five of Wands. So it looks like you're going to be dealing with a lot of obstacles this week, a lot of conflict. Even if this is not external, it's internal. You're having a hard time with yourself, or having a hard time with how you feel about what's going on with other people. Um, you may feel like you are competing with other people, and you don't really like that, but at the same time you understand that it's necessary and you're rising to the challenge. You are. It's a pain in the ass, but you're doing it. All right, let's see what's going on in your love life, Aquarius. What is going on in Aquarius's love life? The Queen of Wands for Aquarius's love life. So you're feeling very good about yourself, very confident. You might be dressing up more than usual. You know, you're not afraid to speak your mind. This may be a little off-putting to some people, to whomever the opposite sex is, some people, but as long as you do not cross that line between confidence and arrogance, I don't think if it is a problem, then they're not the right people for you, because, you know, this is an aspect of your personality that if it's not always present, it comes up a lot. And it's something that whomever you're with will have to deal with at some point, and not in a just deal with it type of way. No, it's kind of part of it, you know? I guess it kind of is that deal with it stuff, but it's not coming from a place of being stubborn. It's coming from a place of this is how it is. This is how it is. Take it or leave it, you know, because it's not going to change much, you know. Um, you know, if you're not with anybody, you're just really enjoying being single. Well, for the most part. Like, you may have somebody in particular that you do like, that you feel like you have to compete with other people for, but at the same time you feel pretty confident about it. Like, you feel like you will come out on top, but at the same time you feel as if, like, even if you don't, even if it doesn't work out with this person, you're still going to come out on top. Like, you feel like no matter how it works out, it's going to work out for the best for you. Okay, and last but not least, our patient Pisces. What is up, my patient Pisces? Let's see what is going on in your love life, just in general. What is going on? Oh, wait, we're not doing Pisces love life yet. We will, don't worry, we will, but we're doing general first. Let's see what's just going on in general with Pisces over the next week. Pisces, we have the world here, so things are coming to a conclusion, a resolution, final decision will be made. You are finally finishing a project. You can turn everything in. And you just have a really good feeling of accomplishment. You feel very, very accomplished in everything that you have done and are working towards. It's like there may be people who try to bring you down or stop you from your success, but they won't work. It won't work. Even if it works for a little bit, it won't last. It won't last, and then karma will happen. And, it is what it is. People choose their fate. They choose what they're gonna do. If you choose to do wrong to other people, karma's karma. Let's see what's going on in Pisces love life. What is going wrong and going wrong? Well, going wrong too if it's going wrong, but what's going on is what I meant. What is going on in Pisces love life over the next week? Let's see. Okay, Pisces, you have the King of Cups. So you are also going to be feeling very loving. Whether you are with someone or not, you're just going to feel very, very affectionate, very loving. If you don't have anybody, you want somebody. And you may be drinking your sorrows away, like, oh, I just tired of being alone. No matter what I do, it never works out. Everyone is so blah, blah, blah. There aren't any good men or women left in this world. Yada, yada, yada. And it's like you're sounding super, super negative, but it's because you're so emotional. It's because you're feeling this so deeply that you want love, and these are all the things that keep happening, no matter how much you want it. And so it's gotten to where you kind of expect it. And just have almost given up on it. You go out, you party, have a good time with friends, family, and then go home and start all over again. Some of you do. Some of you do start all over again with the drinking. Um, Others of you, spending time with the people that you love and care about to kind of distract you from how sad you feel about relationships never working out, and how sad you feel about the breakup, and just how sad you feel about your love life and love in general. You may be spending time with your friends to just kind of remind you that love is out there and love exists. It really does. But what's so frustrating to you is because it's like, okay, but this isn't the type of love I want. Well, it's the type of love you need, because from this love that you need, you will learn what you really want is what you need. These things happen for a reason. It may not be clear now, but this period of time is for you to learn about yourself and how you deal with relationships, etc., etc. Yeah. If you're in a relationship, yeah, you're having a good time. Very, very loving. Very, very affectionate towards each other. And some of you may get a little too caught up in your emotions if you're not very happy. If you guys are disagreeing or arguing, it could potentially blow up. But I think it's something that will come to a resolution rather quickly. You choose love, and you're not ready to tie this up yet. You're not ready. However, there are some things in your life that will come to a conclusion, whether you like it or not. You just got to roll with it. It's the best thing you can do for yourself. Just roll with it. So, those are your readings for the next week. I hope they resonate. Thank you to everyone who showed up to show love. Thank you to my lurkers. Thank you to everyone who shows up later to watch. I appreciate all of you guys. And I hope you guys can make the best out of this week.